Greetings everyone, and welcome to a special Saturday edition of the Weekly Challenges Guide. Now, if you are new to this video, or to this particular portion of the game, the Weekly Challenges are a set of 5 races that are usually go live, Thursday night, Friday morning, and consist of 5 races, 4 that can already be found within the game, with a 5th one specially made for that week. And the point of this series is to give you an overview as to what to expect from these races, whether it's the cars to use, whether it's the tracks, the lap count, as well as to whether there's any penalties to be aware of, or any fuel or tire multipliers as well. So, without much of that out of the way, let's get into it. And we start off with the Japanese FF Challenge 450. And as the name suggests, 500 and 450 performance points, and it is a 3-lap race, as these usual beginner challenges tend to be. This requiring a road car from Japan with an FF layout. It's a Suzuka Circuit East course, so including the straightaway and the S's. No penalties or anything. For this example, I'll just use the Suzuki Swift Sport I already completed the race before with. It's very familiar to me, so it's something that was a no-brainer at that point. And as for tips for this particular event, and for this particular course there, and that is precision and momentum. And this is something you can remember whether you're hot lapping here or whether you're trying to pass cars, and that's properly placing your car in just the right spot and carrying just the right amount of speed to get around. That is a very key part. And it's already there for the Suzuka full course, for the full lap. But here, because one half's a straightaway and one half's quarters, that's important. So next is the European FR Challenge 550. And, as can be seen here, that means 550 performance points. This is another 3-lapper, but this time at the Red Bull Ring. And as mentioned before, a road car from Europe. But this requires a car with an FR layout. And no shortcut penalties, walk-up penalties, or anything like that. So for this example, I'm going to choose this Mercedes AMG GT Black Series. It's a car I haven't driven before, and I figured I might as well give it a shot, so this seems like a good event to do it with. And it's a good example of the sort of cars you can use for this. And the tips that I have for this particular event is a wide entry and exit. This is what you need to remember for this course, because there are a lot of these corners that will require that with how tight they are. And also be mindful of the weather. This is an event where rain can show up. As you can see even in the background, there's a little bit of it going on in my one attempt. So be mindful and keep an eye out for that. Next is the American Clubman Cup 700. And as the name implies, 700 performance points or up is what you will need. This will be a 5-lap race around Watkins, Glen International in the long course layout. And of course, as mentioned, you'll need a road car that's stock or professionally tuned and from the United States. As the example of the field, and no penalties, shortcut or wall or anything. And I'm just going to bring out the old reliable for this example, and that is one of the Shelby GT350Rs, and this one being based on the GT350RC. And obviously this is just using the setup from the Group 4 Mustang, just as a stable base. And as for tips on this event, or you get on this course here, fast corners and momentum. Now, like Suzuka, this also is a track with a lot of corners that require momentum, but the speeds are much higher, so you rarely will need second gear stopping power for a corner. And a perfect example comes in my recommendation for the 3rd gear for the bus stop. So you're coming in and get down to 3rd gear, as depending on your car and your setup, you can carry a whole lot of speed through here, and you can even set up an AI for a pass through the carousel as demonstrated there. And next, the Vision Gran Turismo Trophy. And as the name very plainly suggests Vision GT cars. This is a 7-lap race at Deep Force Raceway reverse, so basically the entire track but in the other direction. And, as mentioned, a Vision Gran Turismo car with about 850 performance points or less. And you can see the cars here, and you'll see the Jaguar VGT and the Porsche VGT. Those will be the bane of your existence in this race. And I'm going to select the Lexus LFLC GT as I did last time there was a similar event. And this is going to play into one of the tips that I have, which is getting this car or the Toyota FP1 Vision GT. These are essentially both racing cars, so while the straightaway is not a fantastic place for them, the corners are. So you want to play off those strengths very much so. And you've got the overtake button if you map that to your wheel to take advantage of as well. So much like the Super Formulas from a week ago, take advantage of that. And finally, the special event, the Ferrari Circuit Challenge. This is single-handedly the reason why you're seeing this video on a Saturday and on a Friday. This is an 8-lap race at the Fuji International Speedway, and this will require a car from Ferrari that is about 700 performance points or less. And no penalties, all kinds of or shortcuts. Now for my example, I did use the 458 that I've already used before, but I did have to change the difficulty because this was brutal and my schedule was already tight, so I didn't want to waste any more time. And as for tips for this, if you're going to do it on the hardest difficulty, pick a powerful car and detune with a good setup. That seems to be the most agreed way to go about doing this here, given the funky way the 700 performance points work. And if it's too hard to do that, don't be afraid to lower the difficulty if you need. Don't ever feel pressured to do an event only in the hardest difficulty because whatever. You know, and I usually do this on hard difficulty because I like doing the hard difficulty. But if I don't find it fun, I'll just lower the difficulty if it makes it easy. Simple as that. Anyhow, that's it for this. I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you did, give it a like. And if you enjoy these, feel free to subscribe because I will make more of these throughout the year. That's it for me. I'll see you guys next time.